City, Utah 84037. We're going to begin this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, which is going to be led by Councilmember Moss, and a thought or prayer by Heather. All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we come before thee at the beginning of this meeting in gratitude for this wonderful place that we live, for our country, for the Constitution, and for these people that are willing to serve our city. We pray that we will do things in a kind and orderly way in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Item number 1.3 is roll call. Haley?
Councilmember Gary Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Mark Pasha.
Here.
Councilmember Florence.
Here.
Councilmember Eileen Moss.
Here.
George Ray.
Here.
Mayor John.
Here. Thank you. Moving on to number 2, procedure for filling vacancy. This is going to be led by Darren. You want to come forward?
So I just kind of wanted to make sure we knew how this process works tonight. And first of all, thank you for every other candidates that applied for this. Great to see that be willing to come and serve our community. This process, we let out here. He's the chief officer, the chairman of the city council, but all the votes is done by the city council. The only way there could be a possibility of the mayor even voting would be in the second round, if there was a tie, but that's pretty hard to fight people voting. But if someone actually abstained from voting, that would be when the mayor could vote. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to get up, introduce themselves to the council, talk about their qualifications, reasons why that they want to be on the city council. After that, we go through each one, and it's by order of the official ballot. It is set up by the lieutenant governor, and so that's the order to go through the whole process. By chance, if there is a tie, it's a 5-way tie, which each candidate member votes for a different individual. It goes to a coin flip. And it starts with those 5 candidates. And you have A, B, C, D, E. Whoever's first on the ballot is A. It goes through the process. We go through right there. We go through this coin flip process. And then the winner of the round 1 and the round 3 are the candidates. And that's who the council wants to stand for at that time. The second possibility for a tie is 1 individual gets 2, and there's 3 individuals that get 1. Those 3 individuals, once again, do a coin flip to get that to 1 individual face off against the Haley and myself will count the ballots. Come to a coin flip, I will do a coin flip. And head, it goes in orders. Candidate A is heads, candidate B is tails. And right now, heads, tails, heads, tails, process. So you don't have to call out anything. It's just a coin flip to see if you can move on. So
Off or drop?
the coin is going to hit the floor.
Okay. Brad had something.
Yes.
Just so it's clear, this is a state law process. This is not anything that was created by anyone in this room. This is the legislature that created this process.
Yes. Yeah, this is state code to go through this process. So after there is a winner declared, that individual will be sworn in at that time and appointed to the city council. They will come up and take their seat at that time. We'll close the meeting and have our first council meeting next Tuesday. So that's how this process will go. So we will get started. Since you are talking with the council, you get to look at the council as you're talking to them, so they can see your eyes, those kind of things. And
So before we get started, Haley will be keeping time on the clock. To keep integrity and to keep the process moving, I would ask that after each presentation, let's not applaud anyone, and then at the very end, let's applaud everyone, if that's okay with you guys. Great, perfect, thank you. The order. You want
okay, our first individual, Terrell Botley.
Me as a whole.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually,
okay, so it goes Terrell Botley, Jeff Call, Blake Winslow, Tyler Naylor, or Ty Naylor, sorry. Heidi Murdoch, Sean Stevenson, Jeannie Grover, Rob Larkin, Jeff Wand, E.L. Fifield, Laura Herman, and Brandon Hurst.
I'm sure that's how the order was determined by the lieutenant governor. That's alphabetical by your last name.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Darrell Botley. I moved up to Fruit Heights 3 years ago. My wife Shelley serves on the Planning Commission board. I have 3 beautiful daughters. We moved up here from the ballpark area, and we lived there for about 15 years. I served on the community council for about 5 years as vice chair. We experienced a lot of growth as far as homeless resource centers, and probably our population, about a quarter of it was from that community. I served on the Gail Miller council board, and that was the board that was in charge of the interaction between the community and the resource center and its population. So we had a lot of interaction there, and we experienced a lot of crime, and we constantly were having to have town hall meetings and trying to ensure that everybody had a voice in the community. I've also served on a steering committee for future plans of the ballpark. And I'm an architect by profession. And I would love to serve on the council for the city. I noticed you guys don't have an architect on the city council, and we are constantly working with stakeholders and being very objective in our solutions as we work through it. And also architecture, obviously I'm biased as an architect, but I feel like it's probably the best way to shape a community, both physically and all right, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Now, how far did I get?
15 seconds.
15 seconds. Pick me. Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So you can take care.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Appreciate you giving us this time to maybe get to know us a little better. My name is Jeff Gall. I've lived in Fruit Heights now for 35 years this coming summer. How we got here is interesting. We lived in Roy, and our business up there, we had the Roy Theater, and we had Lisa's Passion Popcorn. And we got caught up in an RDA redevelopment and lost the property, so we would be coming down here to Kaysville. And so we got a real estate agent, so let's find a house in Kaysville. So we looked. We found a house, made an offer, offers accepted. You went in to close on it. So you're here to close on the house in Fruit Heights. I said, no, we're Kaysville. No, this is Jeff. And they said, oh, yeah. The house really has in Fruit Heights. I went, okay. I can tell you right now, I've attended many city council meetings in Roy, Kaysville, and here in Fruit Heights. And the distrust, lack of respect, the anger that I've seen in city councils amongst the city council, between the staff and the city council, between the staff and the public back to the city council. I've never seen that here. As a citizen, it's been invisible to me. I like that. It's been nice. If chosen to fill the position, I will continue that tradition of politeness, courtesy, respect with those I work with. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. This is Blake Weaver.
Hi. If I seem a little nervous, it's not that. I'm just really excited. And I'm going to be looking at my phone because my teleprompter's not working tonight. So, good evening, Mayor Pullman, members of the City Council, staff. My name is Blake Winslow. I've lived in Fruit Heights since 2021. Really enjoy being here. I've been proud to serve as the treasurer for the Burton Elementary's PTO this past year. Before that, I was on the community council. Being involved in community for me has been the way to grow past some of the frustration I have with maybe politics at large, looking at the world and feeling frustrated. And getting involved at the school was the first time that I think I really gained an appreciation for the fact that the things that we want to have done, or the things that are being done by good people, and good people that live in our communities. I really enjoy talking to people. Maybe I have the gift of gab, I don't know, but I don't like to have conversations that are surface level. I like to get to what people really believe and what they're thinking and why they think those things, because it helps me to think about what I care about. And through those kind of conversations, I've made some of my best friends. And some of them are here, my wife, obviously. But beyond that, I do think that this community has its own unique challenges and things that I really care about and I want to see continue to be taken care of the way that our council has been so far. I'm a curious person. I think curiosity is something that leads me to do a lot of homework. I've done a lot of homework for this. I've been reading ordinances and past minutes from the council. I think that understanding how government works locally is the way that we're going to move forward. I think I'm ready to hit the ground running. I think that we have just a really lovely community. And I really am grateful for this opportunity. And one thing I'm also grateful for is that there are so many people who did step up to become candidates for this. I think it says a lot about our community. I know that good leadership isn't about having all of the answers, but about asking good questions, understanding different viewpoints within our community, and working together towards solutions. I do care deeply about our city. I want to ensure that the city continues to thrive and would be honored to help in that process. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Ty Naylor.
Good evening. My name is Ty Naylor. I am a third generation resident of Fruit Heights. Actually, my grandparents built a home back here in the 1960s. My father grew up here. We moved to Farmington a few years afterwards, and I returned back when I was in high school. Fruit Heights has been my home ever since. I have 4 children, some that sit on Youth City Council. I have, in my professional career for the past 24 years, I've worked in education and technology. I have worked at the Salt Lake School District, where I was in charge of community engagement with all of our after-school programs. So we would take 300 plus students in after-school programs and help them develop reading and writing skills
And we would bring community members in to support the needs of the school at the time. So during that job, I was able to communicate effectively with those stakeholders. In my current role at Weber State, I work in the IT division up there. I've been on the leadership ever since I joined the Weber State. And sadly, if you all know this, Weber, or any higher education institution, there's a lot of competing voices and a lot of committees and other things. Actively, I'm sitting on 20 large-scale committees in the university. And I feel like I'm a valuable member where I contribute, I share ideas, and I ask good questions. And again, to the point of the other candidates so far that have come up here, I'm extremely impressed by the amount of citizens that have stepped up to say that they're willing to serve. And I think regardless of what happens here tonight, I think each of us would be willing to serve in other capacities in the city and making sure that we're progressing and listening to those constituents. So, do plenty of time.
Thank you.
I probably will not leave a minute and 15 seconds, but it's good. Yes, I'll probably talk fast too, but I'm gonna just tell my background, what I currently do, and then why I decided to run for city council. So I have never wanted to run for public office or put my name on a sign. It just doesn't interest me, but I've always been involved in the community. So I grew up in Syracuse. I went to BYU, I moved back east and got into land development. The company I worked for did infill redevelopment in Washington, DC. When I moved back here to Utah, met my husband, I got into real estate. I did land development where I did the entitlements and all the city meeting and rezonings for private landowners and real estate agents through Salt Lake, Davis, Weber County for years. When I got 2 or 3 kids, my husband's job was really busy, so I got out of that and got involved in the community, which I've always loved to serve. I've been PTA president on all the community councils at every level. I've been on the Davis Education Foundation board for 7 years. We've been very involved with all the teen centers. We've been involved with Unified Sports, with a Special Olympics program. 3 years ago, my husband is a part owner in the Murdoch Auto Group. He started a foundation, and that's where I spend a lot of my time now. We work with politicians throughout the state. We work with nonprofits. We raise money. We donate money to causes that deal with youth mental health, children with, my brain's not working right now, kids with special needs, Unified Sports, trying to make sure there's an equal playing field and everyone is included, and getting rid of barriers for youth. I'm starting a literacy program with the Davis School District. I don't have time to go into that right now, but I'm hoping it makes a difference in the lives of children. I currently serve on the Planning Commission. I have been for just over a year, and I love it. I love everyone there. I love public hearings. Everyone's very respectful. A few things we've worked through, like on the chicken ordinance, at that meeting, there was a lot of concerned residents, and I said, we need to hold a town hall. We need to have everybody come, because I know nothing about chickens, and listen to their input. And that meeting was fabulous. They know way more about chickens than I will ever know or probably care to know. With the rezoning of the Christensen's property, we kept trying to get it to work where we did a development agreement and an R13, and that wasn't going to work, and it makes residents nervous. We finally got an R16 ordinance passed, and now we're looking in the general plan to make that more accessible, which meets Utah housing codes and such. The reason I decided to do the city council is 2 reasons. One, we lived in this city for 14 years. I'm never moving. I will be here forever. I love this community. 2, I think it's important to make sure that the public knows their voices are being heard. And I know a lot of people, and for some reason they always call me, and I would love to say I can help. Like I can help. Planning Commission is great. We make recommendations. I would love to be able to say, I would love your consideration. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, Heidi Murdoch.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I've been saying it as a, say that again?
I didn't hear.
Okay. Randy Sean Stevenson.
Mayor Pullman, council members, staff, and other people here to put their name in the hat for this wonderful opportunity to serve. My name is Randy Sean Stevens. I, along with my wife and 3 kids, have called Fruit Heights home for 7 years. My professional degree is in finance and business administration. I also serve currently, I currently work for the U.S. Department of the Treasury. where I'm a contract specialist, meaning I negotiate large dollar, $300 million contracts on behalf of the taxpayer. I've also, I'm a veteran. I have served for 11 years, so I know what it is to serve, whether it be in a combat zone or during a crisis. I have served at Hurricane Katrina, so I know what it is to see and to be deeply rooted in a community that pulls together and wants the best for them. As many of you know, I ran last go around for city council. I lost by a very close margin, which is okay. But through that experience, I did not hold or begrudge. I continue to serve the community that I've come to love through that process. I've done that by serving on the cemetery board. I've attended, for the most part, all of the council meetings. I've done the commission. I've attended all the city events with my family because I believe in my heart that this is where I should give my time. My professional experience has given me the ability and the objective to be objective, whether it be through research or analyzing any topic that comes up. It allows me to look at both sides and have the perception and the perspective of all our residents. And by doing that, and active listening, it allows me to make informed decisions. I come doing this with the full support of my family, through my wife and my children, which are all of elementary age. Me committing to this was a hard choice because I'm taking away from them. But through this process, my kids will learn about what it is to serve in any capacity. And I think it's a good learning opportunity from them, or for them. As a city council member, my priorities will to serve humbly, serve the community, and ensure that every decision I make reflects the needs and the desires of all our residents. Doesn't matter if it's east side, west side, or a neighborhood. We represent our entire community. I do not come with a fixed agenda or preconceived notions. My focus will be to listen to our people, being responsive to their concerns, working collaboratively to find a practical solution to the issues that matter most. Whether it is to improve public safety, enhance the local infrastructure, or foster the growth. My goal is to support the policies through strength, strife, and united.
Good evening. I personally do better when I have things written down, so forgive me, but it always like time limit. Thank you each for the time and the work that you put into this job that you're doing for our city. It's much appreciated. In 2017, I filed to run for city council that year. I was at that time advocating about changes to the highway plan that UDOT had proposed, and that message resonated, and I was honored to be elected and serve this city from 2018 to 2022. I was raised to love and revere the blessing that we have in this country of self-governance, and to place a value on civic responsibility as a citizen, and that continues to be a value I hold. I currently serve along with my husband as you all know, in the role of advisors for the Fruit Heights Youth City Council, which we really enjoy and love doing. And I love those youth. I love working with them, striving to teach them those values of civic responsibility and duty. So we have a good time together serving in the city. So one strength I bring to this council is my experience, that I have been through the steep initial learning curve that it is to be a city council member. I've spent hours digging into our budget and land use issues, Utah's property tax laws, trying to communicate those to residents. Spent time on things in that term from like the new playground, Founders Days, vetting new ordinances, word for word, bringing our website up to date, developing a better budget document for public transparency financially. I served as liaison to the League of Cities and Towns, which I enjoyed, spent countless hours at those meetings and conferences, learned a lot about the nexus between state and city, the way monies flow, how issues that we share with other cities, issues that are pretty unique to us. And I still have, like I did then, the availability in my daily schedule to be able to attend those kinds of meetings. They're held during the day generally. and would do so if I were appointed to do it. Other strengths I bring include careful thinking about issues and unintended consequences, an approach of good information gathering to find from relevant sources to arrive at sound decisions. And I feel like good ideas are made better when more heads are working on them. And such is the reason we work in councils and public hearings and things of that nature. And that change is inevitable, but when more heads work on it, we arrive at better changes for our city. So I bring real experience, familiarity with the city, with budget and other things, fiscal conservatism, and I would be honored to bring my abilities and my experience and my strengths to this council, and would do my best to work in accordance with.
Thanks for your time tonight and the nice calls I had from some of the members. It was nice to hear from you and you have any questions and listen to your concerns. My name is Rodney Larkin. I've lived here for a little over around 60 years. So I've lived here more than some of you have been alive. And before that, we come here on vacations and pick cherries. My grandpa's orchard over on Green Road and visit my uncles and aunts and everything. And back in the day, this was a wide open country. Really about 500-600 people lived here and riding horses up and down the streets. And I've been up that mountain and probably been every canyon, every tree up there. I've been through it and the property here over the flume, taking our horses and hiking and stuff. So the city and the property around it runs deep in my soul. I love this place. And somebody asked me where else would I want to move, and I says, I've been all over the world and there's no place like home. This is where you want to live. I love this city. In my career, I've been a manager of numerous businesses over my career, and about 33 years ago, I started my own business. I walked into an empty room and sat down and developed some products and sold those, or chemical products for medical and dental, and built that, and then developed some more products, built some more, and ended up with a multi-million-dollar business and sold that last about a year and a half ago. And all that entails with contracts, and I was EPA registered as well as FDA registered and EPA registered facility, so I had to deal with a lot of regulatory and things like that. Number of employees and concerns there. I've been on the planning commission some number of years ago. I was on the planning commission for about 4 years. I got to see some of the internal workings. And just like then, I got on the planning commission because I saw things that I thought were not going just right for the city. Because some people see their position in the city as authoritarian and in power, and they can do things. And mine is a position of service. And one thing I tried to implement there is we made a lot of things hard for the citizens to get through and prevent some things. And I tried to smooth that out and make it nice for them and try to get everything on that page. So my big thrust here would be to come on the council to hopefully instill that again. The citizens of this city are the most important thing, and we're here to serve, not to tower over, be an authority figure of. We can spend that time making their lives wonderful. And being here so long and we live in our open space and stuff, I love that. And so property rights are very important to me as well. And I see sometimes the property rights are kind of stepped on and pushed around, and people have their own idea of what they want to do with somebody else's property. And I don't go for that at all. I believe in property rights, like our founding fathers had. Your property rights were sacred. And it took something very serious that the government would take some property and do something with. Just like the Highway 89 project. That cut us off for 89, but it was good for the whole community, so I was fine with that. So hopefully,
Council members, Mayor, my name is Jeff Lund, and I appreciate this opportunity to address you tonight. About 11 years ago, my family moved here from West Bountiful. We have enjoyed our time here. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's degree in business administration from the University of Utah. I currently work for Davis Technical College, formerly known as DATC. I've been there for 16 years. In the last 3 years, I've been their vice president of finance. And in addition to overseeing the school finances of $37 million, I oversee the school's buildings, building projects, security, and employee policies. This extensive background in government operations is one of the strengths I would bring to the Fruit Heights City Council. We have a great community here. We're blessed. We have clean water when we turn on the taps. We have cleaned off streets within hours after the snow falls. We're really blessed to live here. And I think that our citizens expect our city to be well-run, fiscally responsible, and that they want the city to be there when they need it. I believe in fiscal responsibility. To me, that means being a wise steward of taxpayers' money, planning for the future, and not passing the buck when problems arise. When my wife and I were first starting out, we purchased an older townhome in an HOA. And I was a bit naive, so I ran for HOA president. And as soon as I got that, I found out that the HOA's position of keeping fees low also meant that the bank account was low. And we had 30 units that needed new roofs. And after that, we held a whole bunch of public meetings. We sent materials to all the residents. And I found out that no matter how hard you try, sometimes people don't get the message and will still be upset. Through that experience, and since then I've conducted many truth and tuition hearings with students and other neighborhood meetings, I found that people want to be heard, their input considered, and in a perfect world, everybody's input could be incorporated into final solutions. But sadly, that's not how our world works. Not everybody's input can be incorporated. And that's because sometimes unforeseen things happen. Sometimes the answer is just plain no. And there's no such thing as a free lunch. Somebody always has to foot the bill. I think I can do a good thing for our city. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be a candidate. And these are things I would do if I was selected. I'd be here. You would have a quorum. I'd be prepared for meetings by reviewing the agenda and researching topics beforehand. I'd support the cemetery if the finances were lined up correctly and our citizens would support that. I'll ask questions to aid in the decision-making process. I'll never take lightly the responsibility of raising taxes. And if we do have to increase taxes, it'll be fully justified and very transparent. I'm thankful for this opportunity to serve, and I'd like to thank each of you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. D.L. Feifel.
I'm D.L. Fifield. I live on 222 Edge Hill Drive. My wife and I moved here, bought our first home in Fruit Heights 38 years ago. And I am educated as a geologist in environmental planning. I have been an emergency management professional for 44 years. I worked 25 years with the state of Utah in emergency management, conducting planning, training, and exercise with local governments. During that time, I also served on the statewide Homeland Security Task Force right after 9/11. I also served for 2 years in the Utah Olympic Public Safety Command in planning for our successful Olympics. When I retired, I went to work for Davis County in Community and Economic Development for a year and a half, where I managed the Community Development Block Grant Program, amongst other activities. I served for 18 years on the Davis County Planning Commission, and I also served on this body for 6 years, from 2002 to 2008. I retired 19 years ago and went into business for myself, and I'm now a contract instructor. I teach emergency management classes to first responders from one end of the country to the other. And I've done that. I really enjoy that teaching. I enjoy the teaching and the public speaking. You know, about soon after we moved in, we had a recreation program. We had t-ball and Little League baseball. And I went down, and they needed coaches, and so I went down and coached. I knew nothing about it. And the other coach on the team was a guy named Scott Fisher. And at that time, City Council had before them a proposal to allow cable TV in the city. And they were against it. They were not going to allow this. And Scott Fisher talked to me one day, and he says, "How would you like to come and help us?" Our city hall at the time was in the Rock Lot. And so I sat down with Scott and Julie Fisher, and they actually were some of the first that really encouraged me to run for city council when I did. And that's what it's all about. We have a government by the people, and being involved at the local level is really the grassroots of really what makes our country great and successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Laura Freeberg.
Good evening. My name is Laura Hubrick, and I have lived in Fruit Heights for the past 25 years. It's been a wonderful place to raise children and to meet neighbors who are now lifelong friends. So why vote for Laura? Because I have a dedication to service, I have skills to bring people and organizations together, and I can help solve problems. Throughout my life, I've always been in organizations that serve others, such as Girl Scouts, National Ski Patrol, and of course, church. Currently, I am on the board and the CFO of the Edward and Clara Common War Scholarship Foundation. I am an active member of the National Association of the Daughters of the American Revolution. As part of DAR, I have organized participation in holiday parades, chaired several committees, and participated in the Vietnam War Veteran 50-year celebration. I am precinct vice chair and a Davis County delegate for the Republican Party. I would love to give back to community that has blessed my life and that of my family as a member of the City Council. I retired in June of 2020 from the United States Postal Service, where I worked for 33 years. But for the last 10 years of my career, I was the executive plant manager in Salt Lake City, where I managed 5 mail processing facilities in Utah and Idaho, and oversee the approximately 1,200 employees. I worked with management associations, large mailing customers, 3 different unions, and congressional staff in Utah and Idaho. I was very effective in being able to work with people at all levels of the organization. We were a top performing mail processing plant, which was accomplished by teamwork. The key to that performance was open and continual communication and treating others with dignity and respect. I recently reviewed all of last year's City Council meetings. It is apparent that being a council member is more than just attending a meeting every 2 weeks. You are meeting with various committees, city staff, and other agencies to gain information and knowledge. I have years of experience working with people by listening, being calm, and resolving conflict. When people ask me what I did at work, I would tell them I'm a problem solver. It was not that I had solutions. Being a problem solver is finding the right people that have the right resources to get the work done. It is important that we create unity within Fruit Heights by continuing to improve communication and increase transparency. One way we do that is by having open and honest communication on the council with our citizens and document in public meetings. A continuous task of the council is to ensure that our city budget runs in the black. I have experience managing a multi-million-dollar budget and am familiar.
Yes.
How's it going? Brandon Hurst, I live up on East Oaks Drive. I decided to put my name in just to start to see how the city council runs, learn more about how our city incorporates with obviously all of our residents. And I've ran multiple companies for multiple years. I've got cloud companies that I've ran for 23 years. It's been doing great. Still run it today. And then we do roll off dumpsters. I got some residential properties. So I always feel like I deal with a lot of different peoples and different strategies. When it comes to being on the council, I want to see what I can bring to the city to help in any way I can solve problems with that, maybe people don't normally think of. They're already currently in the government area. Sometimes people get pulled away from reality when they've been in for a long time or in different areas of their expertise. So I've just had a very broad business model my whole life. So I tend to see and be able to fix things in different ways. And I felt like I could bring a lot to the committee to help them move forward and help with, keeping the residents happy, keeping the city happy, you know, budget planning, obviously that's a big one. But yeah, I feel like I can help out in different ways that maybe the people that have been in that type of industry for a long time might not see it the same way anymore. So, all right, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brandon. Darren? Actually, hold on, let's applaud everyone. That was Thank you for coming tonight, very sincerely. And all the applicants, thank you for putting your name in. It really makes a difference when you are active. Good.
Just that time now that the council is located out there at the house, we can't do them. See where we're at.
Jeopardy music?
Yeah.
I think we need the Jeopardy music.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If I can just say something real quick. For you that put your name in the hat, I know that you all realize that you have a small chance of going through. So I was impressed with every single one of you, and I'm thankful for your involvement. If you don't pass through, which is likely because 11 of you won't, please just stay involved with the process. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we do not have to have a coin flip. So the one person receives the majority of the votes, and that person is shown.
So does that mean we don't have a second round then?
Nope, there's a majority in the first round, so that's it.
No coin flip. Okay, so now we'll move on to item number 5, which would be an appointment. Gary, should I go see that? Sean,
Darren, you're gonna take a picture of this, I assume?
Here, that way, this way, go up and full turn.
Face this way?
Yes. Big smile.
I, Randy Sean Stevenson, pledge to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, along with the laws of the state of Utah and the policies of Fruit Heights City.
As a council member of Fruit Heights City,
As a council member of Fruit Heights City, I commit to carry out my duties
integrity and impartiality
with integrity and impartiality
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Just covering items for city council. There's this.
Wait a minute, Mayor, let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone's participation tonight. I can't echo that enough. Please stay involved. There's a campaign that's going on this year. If you did not make it, please still be involved. We need quality candidates. Just to conclude this meeting, I'm just gonna go over the calendaring items. We have the survey that's going on, there's a survey that's going out on the website, so we're trying to gather information about the election process. If you would please take the time to fill that out, council members as well. February 4th, we have our city council meeting. February 17th, the Office of the Closure President's Day. February 18th, will be city council meeting, the day after President's Day. And February 28th, 25th is planning commission meeting. There's nothing on the agenda, so
Motion to adjourn.
I would like to have a second from Sean. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourning at 7:45.